Vicki Michelle, it is so lovely to have you for tonight's big question. Why on earth does there need to be a warning on Allo Allo? I mean, we just saw that clip. It was absolutely brilliantly funny, sometimes a little bit close to the bone, but isn't that what comedy's meant to be?
That's what comedy's about. I mean, why are we trying to kill comedy? And it's still being shown on the Drama Channel and Yesterday Channel and got loads of viewers, and people still want to laugh. I think we're being starved of comedy, and it's not offensive. If you find it offensive, don't watch.
I know, that's what's so mad. And I just feel like if you put these trigger warnings up, you're almost asking folk to be offended, aren't you?
Yes, I think that, what's happened to people, where has our sense of humour gone? Are people trying to stifle us so that all of those comedies were brilliant comedies. I mean, if you look at television now, we have lots of game shows, but we have no comedies. And I remember I used to chat to the taxi drivers, and they say, we used to love getting in from work, watching a comedy, used to make us laugh, we felt better, and now we don't have that. And I think that we are being starved of comedy. And then to slap what Britbot's saying, it's a warning. How can you take offence at something that is fun? I think it was bought by over 80 countries. Wow. So it's still popular. Yes, and now, 50 countries still buying it, repeat fees still coming in from all of those countries. Germany bought it later, so I think that we really need to address the fact that there's a lot of people want to stop us laughing, stop comedy. I think it's sad. It's really sad what's happening to the world. And what happened to free speech?
Yeah.
Where is free speech? This is Great Britain. That's part of our life, that we have free speech. So why aren't we allowed to just watch what we want, do what we want, without this stupid sort of, what is it, the woke society saying we can't do this and we can't do that?
Well, I call them the woke mob, Vicki Michelle, because, obviously they're doing it to all of the comedies and now historic figures as well, even Winston Churchill's own foundation.
Don't go there. No, don't go there.
I'm so mad about it. I'm so mad about it.
I'm so incensed. Winston Churchill saved this country. That's why we are a free country, and should be, revered for that. And if you want to kill everything in history, then what will you have to moan about? If you want to get rid of it, get rid of everything that upsets someone. I don't care. Be what you want to be. Do what you want. But let people like what they want, do what they want without being dictated to. We've got ridiculous things like you can't say master bedroom. For God's sake, get a life. It's just ludicrous that what we are being... I think the British public are sick to death of it, to be quite honest, and sick to death of being dictated to. And I do blame the media to a point to giving it legs. We are giving some people, I'm sure that some of them sit at home and say, what can I do to get publicity? So I'll come up with this idea and I'll get loads of publicity. And I don't think we should be giving them the airtime or talking to them when they're ludicrous things they're coming out with. There's important things in the world going on. People are dying, there's poverty, there's things like that. And we're talking about stupid things about whether you should watch a comedy program or not.
I know, but the problem is these people seem to have quite a lot of power these days because, and I think he's a friend of yours, but Roy Chubby Brown is now actually being banned from performing at certain venues by city councils because they don't like his humour. And to me, that's chilling.
Well, I think that Roy Chubby Brown would probably be really excited about it because all publicity is good publicity, which means that more people will want to go and see his show. And I met him, actually. I've heard of him. He's renowned, and he's been going for 40, 50 years. And it was always Roy Chubby Brown. It's outrageous. If you want to go and see his shows, outrageous. Be prepared to be shocked. And I didn't actually see any of his shows, but I met him at Barry Chuckle's funeral And he's a really nice guy. And he's worked for all this time. And people that want to go and see him want to go and see him. And people that don't. But let people do what they want. And this will only fuel it, because I think he'll get more people going to see how outrageous he is. But we're talking back in the day, he was outrageous. So, and that was when he used to swear a lot. But we're allowed to swear now, aren't we? We can say all those words, but you can't say master bedroom. You can swear, you can blind, you can do all of that. But please, then, don't say master bed. It's stupid.
Well, it is stupid.
Or head girl.
It is stupid, and we're losing our sense of humour, but we're also losing our ability to speak out, because I believe you starred in a play with Lawrence Fox, who's someone who's appeared on this show often. But it seems like because he has expressed political views that aren't necessarily palatable to people in the entertainment industry, they've tried to cancel him and they don't want him to be an actor anymore. And that's really disturbing to me too.
That's really disturbing, because Lawrence Fox, we did too. He was doing The Patriotic Traitor at the Park Theatre in Finsbury Park with Tom Conti. Brilliant play. And I was doing Hello, Norma Jean, which is about Marilyn Monroe, which also was a fantastic play. And then we used to meet in the bar afterwards, have a drink. Dermot O'Leary used to pop in, Miriam Margolis, and we used to have a drink in the bar and a laugh and a joke. And he's a lovely bloke and a great actor, a great actor. And because he has political views, whether I agree with them or you agree with them or anyone agrees with them, doesn't mean you should dictate whether you should like that person or not. I like him as a person. I think he's fun. I think he's a great actor. But it seems to me that we've, because of your political views, then I'm not going to like you, or I'm not going to allow you to do things. And I think that's completely wrong. Let people do what they want. This is a free country, or it was a free country.
Yeah, and let's tolerate both political views, because the thing that's very sad to me about the entertainment industry is that they're absolutely fine for you to be massively political if you're on the extreme left. But if you're even slightly right-wing, that they want to cancel you.
I know. Why? But if you put this out there too and had a public vote, are we sick to death of what we're being dictated by? I'm sure that probably 80% of the country would go, yes, please stop it. Stop dictating to us. Stop, telling us who we should like, who we shouldn't like. And I'm not sure that, which side of the coin anyone is on. And I don't really care. I have my views and everyone else has their views. But just let people do what they want. It's become almost like we're not allowed to say anything. We're frightened. I think it's become, you're so frightened to say anything that you stop talking to people. You're frightened of saying the wrong thing, which makes even more of a distance between, factions, or, it's very uncomfortable. And I think we need to laugh more. We need more comedy. We need to be able to laugh. They should bring back all of the shows that used to make us laugh out loud. I was when I was talking to your lady earlier when we were doing, she was talking about my views. Yeah. I said, now 2,000 theatres, are being filled by comedians. That didn't used to happen. Comedy shows are sold out because we're starved of comedy and we need it. We need to laugh more.
No, I think you're completely right, actually. But it's so disturbing to me, the number of comedians who I speak to, and they're actually self-censoring now, Vicki, because they're really worried about their jokes being put up on the internet out of context and people trying to cancel them. So this is the problem. The whole culture is making it really hard for people to either speak out, be honest, or actually just make jokes. And I think it's very chilling.
But who is dictating this to us? Why are we accepting these views?
Well, I don't accept it.
No, I don't accept it. So why are we having it shoved down our necks, by the media or whoever? Yeah. And it seems to me that,
well, I think it's a lot of the media.
Are taking it.
Yeah,
Sorry?
I think it's a lot of the media, and I think it's a lot of social media, and I think you're right. It's companies who are absolutely paranoid about a few people
Paranoid.
complaining on Twitter. And it's like, just ignore Twitter. 80% of the UK aren't on Twitter. It's a horrible, toxic little platform. But they get about 5 complaints. You know, 5 keyboard warriors will say, oh, that's terrible, that joke in Allo Allo, I'm really offended. And all of a sudden, there's a warning slapped on it.
I know it has become almost, it's almost a comedy.
Yeah, it's farcical.
Almost, if you wrote
It's farcical.
it's farcical. If you wrote this, you wouldn't believe it.
No, I know.
You couldn't believe it. And
We need you in politics, Vicki Michelle. Would you ever run?
No, I mean, I love my acting, and I'm still working, thank God.
Yeah.
So, politics. But there's some things I want to kick ass about. Yeah, for sure. You know, and I do think that sometimes people in politics aren't strong enough. I think you need some strong. You need leaders. I don't want to like you. I want you to lead.
Yes.
I want you to, get things done. So I think all this, I want to be liked by the general public, is not what it's about. I think it's getting things done and addressing things that need to be done. Yeah.
But yes, as you say, you are still working, and of course you've got Cinderella at the Grimsby Auditorium coming up, the big pantomime season. But Vicki, COVID and these appalling lockdowns have been devastating for the entertainment industry and for performers like yourself. I believe you lost 20 shows of your show Dirty Dusting because the theatres were just not reopening. Do you think people have almost just given up on the entertainment industry? Because it feels terrible to me how long people were out of work for.
I think it's horrendous what's happened to our industry, because it's not just my side, the acting side. It's people working backstage, on cameras, whatever. And yes, I'm going out with a show called Dirty Dusting, which I think was really brave of Leah Bell. Leah Bell's in it, Vicky Entwistle from Coronation Street.
What's it about? Dirty Dusting. What's it about?
That's dirty. Well, it's 3 cleaning ladies that are going to be laid off because they're too old, and they're going to be laid off. And the phone goes a couple of times in the office, and it's the wrong number, but it's a sort of a sex chat up. They think it's a sex chat up office. And so the girls get together and they say, why don't we do this over a weekend and earn some extra money? So we form our own naughty chat up line over a weekend, and it's hysterical. I mean, it's really fun. Oh my
goodness, that sounds wild.
That's going all over the country. Sorry?
That sounds wild.
But she had, Leah Bell really brave to take it on board, but she had, I think, 35 venues, but now half of them, we've got 20 venues left, but a lot of the theatres are saying we're not going to open because we don't, we're not safe yet. We don't think we're not going to get the people in. I think in London, you're getting people in. In London, people are definitely going to the theatre. Outside of London, it's still, people are a bit scared. They're worried about being in an enclosed space with
God, we've just got to get over it, don't we? We've got to get over it, because if we don't claim back normality, we're never going to get it back, Vicki.
I think you're right. I mean, they're saying about COVID cases going up. People that have had the double vaccine, and if they get the COVID it's mild. It's like a mild flu. So let's put it, we're getting flu. That's what's happening. And if you had flu, you still go to the theatre. It's so sad. I mean, Panto even, I think they're worried about that, and that's not happening till December.
Vicki, if they shut Panto down for a second year in a row, I'm going to be utterly furious. It didn't need to shut down last year. They wasted so much money by introducing that lockdown. Oh, I'll be furious about it. But look, we've got so many questions pouring in for you, Vicki Michelle, from our viewers, our brilliant viewers. So I need to get to them because they always have the best questions. So Simon, via the GBNews Twitter account, asks, when you initially received the script for Allo Allo, did you have any reservations?
No. It was one of the best scripts I'd read. I was given it and I started reading it, and there's not a lot of scripts that when you're reading it, you're laughing out loud. Yeah. I thought, this is an amazing script. Yeah. And I actually read for Yvette and Michelle of the Resistance. So both of those. And we didn't hear for 6 months because I think Yeah, they were a bit worried about the content and everything. Oh, ooh la la!
Looking
And no,
good.
I didn't have any reservations. It was a great script, and I'm so proud to have been in a series that lasted 10 years.
10 years,
I was
10
in
years, and that never happens with British comedy. Dave, also via GB News on Twitter, asks, thank you for all of the work you've done for SSAFA, the Armed Forces Charity.
Oh, bless.
How
Yes,
important is that to you?
it's really important. I do a lot of charity work, and I'm very pro the armed forces, and SAFA is a wonderful organisation, and I'm sort of ambassador for the South End branch, and we go down there, and it's so important. They look after the boys in there, and they're all full of banter. Oh my goodness, if you go in and you've got the Navy boys and the Army boys and the pilots, and they're all having goes at each other. And it's a wonderful thing where they can all go and meet together, and they look after the wives, the families, if people have lost people. And I think it's a great organisation, and I'm very, very proud to be part of that. And they're a wonderful bunch of people. But the armed forces are very, very important. I'm very pro them. Yeah.
Diogenes on Twitter asks, do you think Allo Allo takes the P out of foreigners?
No. I think that when... well, every single foreigner, over 80 countries have bought it. So I think if they thought that, then they wouldn't have bought the series and are still buying it. So, but when David Croft was asked these questions, and he said, we don't send up one, we send up everyone. And he actually described how him and Jeremy Lloyd wrote for it. And it was the French are randy, the Germans are kinky, and the English are stupid. And that's how we wrote the character.
Exactly.
That's how they wrote. And
that's what I was going to say. The English certainly don't get off lightly. That's the point, isn't it? Yeah. Lenny, this is Lenny via GB Views, and they say, loved the fabulous Vicki in the Likely Lads film. What are your memories of working with Rodney and James?
They were fabulous. Just such a joy to work with them and to do the Likely Lads. I did one of the television series and I did the film, and it's really weird because when Christmas comes round, everyone goes, saw you on the Likely Lads. Nothing else that I've done but the Likely Lads. So it's still really popular, and
it's a classic.
I've got great memories, but my biggest memory when I was doing the film is that the producer director took us all out for a meal, and I got to an Indian restaurant and I had food poisoning. I was up all night. So when I did that, I was suffering from food poisoning. So that was my vivid memory of that.
Amazing that you got through it. And look, last question tonight, but it's a goodie from David via GB Views, who asks, please say to Vicki, we'll never stop watching Allo Allo, whatever the wokerati say. Should we, as Officer Crabtree would say, tell them to stiff it and pass off?
Beautifully put. Beautifully put. I think there are so many people that love Allo. I get lots of messages saying we never laugh so much because they're repeating it on yesterday on Drama Channel, and Drama Channel's just started repeating it. And people are saying, do you know what? It's so refreshing to laugh. And also, yes, we use German accents, French accents, but the policeman, when he turned up, he's actually been, or at that time was used in schools to tell the children that when they're learning French, that this is how the English sound if you don't pronounce the French words properly. So he was used educationally as well.
Love it. Vicki Michelle, you're great. Thank you so much for being here. Please come back soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely love that.
You're great too, Dan. I love your show.
Thank you, Vicki. We'll come back soon. We love you. Bye. Thank you. That's Vicki Michelle on tonight's Big Question. Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.